Last episode, we had left Fort Pierce, cruising along with my mom aboard, and enjoyed a couple days stopping in Vero Beach and eventually to Melbourne, Florida. We're slowly cruising America's Great Loop, which is a circumnavigation of the eastern part of the U.S. by waterways. When it gets too cold, we store our boat and then return to our RV and continue roaming around the U.S. in the south. Hi there!
We're anchored out in Melbourne.
No, actually, we're technically in Indian Harbor Beach.
Okay, so the outskirts of Melbourne, and Cherie's old neighborhood literally is right over there.
Well, not those condos. I used to live over that way. That's where I was living when I met Chris. So I used to kayak these waters, launch my kayak just right over there. So it's really cool to be back in these waters. I used to sail with my father in the intercoastal between the Melbourne and Newgalley causeways. So it's really special to be back on our own boat in these waters that were so near and dear to my heart for so long.
Yes, we've been anchored out here for 2 nights just north of the Mather Avenue Bridge in the Banana River, which is a really beautiful, tranquil anchorage, although it's a little hard to get ashore here.
Yeah, the review said that there was shore access, and we're not able to find easy access. So
it's not great.
So maybe we're just still too newbies to be seeking out the good dinghy access. Yeah, we like it nice and easy and clearly marked too. So we're kind of not really good at being scofflaws on this stuff.
I don't think it's a scofflaw, but it's more of a, I have to climb up that muddy bank to get out of the...
Yeah.
Okay.
Despite not finding nearby dinghy access, a couple miles away we did find a nature park where we could get some hiking in. The island was only accessible by boat.
We're on an island park. Only get here by boat.
Where are we at?
Samsons Island. It's a nature park.
Okay, this is Mount Samson.
Right there.
This is the first mountain
We've encountered on the Great Loop.
Let's go for a hike. It's long and strenuous. Worst part is the mosquitoes biting me.
Why would they have mosquitoes on a mountain?
I think we might have maybe 20 feet of elevation gain.
Yeah, maybe 25 even. There's a lot for Florida.
All right, there we are. We are to the peak.
You joined us for a complete hike of Mount Samson. Check out this stunning view.
If I can get the camera up high enough, I can give you a stunning view. There you go, not really. Anyway, we came into Melbourne after the stop in Vero Beach, cruising with my mom. We stayed over at the Melbourne Harbour Marina over there in downtown Melbourne.
We did 4 nights there, right?
Mm-hmm. We were there for the very last Friday Fest, which started basically just before I left the area. So I had enjoyed the beginning days of Friday Fest, which is just this downtown every
Friday. First Friday of the month, street party, I think, or second Friday.
Yeah, vendors come out, food vendors, music, and things like that. Yep. So I used to go to that, before I met Chris. That was part of my routine. So it was kind of cool to be there for their last one.
And so we had an interesting time in Melbourne and got to enjoy a little bit of the downtown, got to cruise. It was a very short cruise up here from downtown Melbourne. It's only 6 miles to Cherie's old neighborhood. And
yes, but this day hasn't necessarily been relaxing. Number one, we're still dealing with just trying to catch up with life in general and feel at home after all of the renovations in Fort Pierce and not having our space to ourselves. So, as homebodied introverts, as we've shared in some of our past videos, that wears on a person. And then, business-wise, stuff is...
Verizon, you're making our life interesting.
Well, and, lots going on there. Our members know exactly what we're talking about. Probably by the time this video goes up, it'll
be public
and gone. But we've been working overtime, lots of time, trying to keep up with it. So it's been stressful. And
fortunately, one thing that has not been stressful is our new generator has been working like a charm, keeping us powered while anchored out. We're up to about 40 hours logged on it. And it is been able to run the air conditioners, battery chargers, basically everything we've thrown at it all at once, despite being just a 6,000 watt generator.
Yeah, I was able to cook on the induction this morning with 2 ACs running.
And I'm like, we didn't turn off an AC and you're cooking. Oh, it's actually working. Wow.
So it's awesome. It is running right now. I don't know if this will pick it up, but it's a directional mic back to it, so the generator's just right down
Yeah,
there.
it's
So
pretty quiet overall.
we do not have a sound shield installed yet, so that's supposed to meet up with us in up the coast. So it's been really nice to have this. It definitely changes the way anchoring is for us to not be worried about the power management.
Yes.
Right now.
So we're going to cruise up towards Cocoa today and see how far we get and continue working our way north. So see how it goes.
Poor dragon. Morning from Titusville.
Yeah, we are floating, looking out right across there at the vehicle assembly building where the space shuttles and the Apollo rockets were put together. So this is a pretty exciting place to be.
Unfortunately, Elon kind of ignores his tweets all the time and didn't schedule a launch for us.
I sent at least 30 last night saying, hey, can we have one for breakfast in the morning? You know, just send up a rocket, please, and nothing. Not even a reply.
But this is a little bit of coming full circle for us. 8 years ago, for the last scheduled night launch of the space shuttle, we were actually boondocked right behind us, watching that overnight with our friends Sean and Louise of our Odyssey.
Yeah, so it was really awesome to come together with them on the water, having their huge bus and our tiny little trailer next to each other. We actually went and watched some of the launch preps from their roof deck on their top of their 3-story bus. And
well,
yeah,
that was our first
we're
time
here.
meeting them. We had been online buddies before that, and when we got together, they shared with us their dreams of eventually moving onto a boat and cruising. And we were actually on our way to the Miami Boat Show to start shopping for a sailboat, because originally we thought we were going to switch to sailing.
So that was, how many years ago was that?
8 years ago.
Wow. So yeah, and here we are floating in our boat offshore right now. The Sean and Louise, and they're in their boat in the Bahamas right now. And
so they've been now aboard about 5 years. They got ahead of us, which they had started their research long before, so they've been on the road even longer than us. And here we are, almost a year and a half into our boating adventure. Yeah. So it's really cool to be back at this spot where we first shared our boating dreams with new friends, RVing friends, and having both of us now been to this exact spot at different times. I wish we could be here together.
Yeah, we followed. Sean had a tip for how to get ashore here via a little beat-up dinghy dock to go to the restaurant that we had that very first meeting at. So
we had lunch here yesterday.
Yep. And today, where are we headed?
So we are continuing northward. We will be going about 20 miles north, and we'll be going through Mosquito Lagoon, which, do we need bug repellent for this one?
We might at night, yes. We're going to go anchor out in Mosquito Lagoon and see how that goes. Last night we anchored out at Honeymoon Lake, and we're just kind of working our way north up we'll be actually technically leaving the Space Coast after.
Yep, we'll be leaving Brevard County officially, which is kind of leaving Central Florida, which is where I spent so many years before I met Chris. So it's kind of, water adventure is kind of like embarking on new territory.
Yay!
It's kind of cool.
Well, let's go cruise.
All right.
Hitting the shallow waters. Dinghy accessible beach. Oh.
Naked beach.
Oh, the best kind of beach. You don't have to get your swimsuit wet. And yeah, we found one here. So score for Mosquito Lagoon. The mosquitoes last night gave the lagoon its name.
And biting flies. And they're down here on the beach, which is kind of counterproductive to a naked beach. Or clothing optional beach, I guess technically is what it is.
But it encourages skinny dipping because, like, I'm getting away from these flies into the water. So.
But awesome to find clothing optional places. It's just great just to be out and not be worried and
get your swim on.
Get your swim on and be in a non-judgmental space.
Yes, and yeah, great place to anchor for the night. We did see a boat on fire yesterday, which is a little distressing. We'll probably pass it as we cruise out today.
Yeah, it was a good 5 or 6 miles away from us, but
yeah, from the distance we could see smoke pouring up into the air on the other side of Mosquito Lagoon, and
several boats were on the scene. We were watching through binoculars, but
yeah, a lot of flames. And anyway, this has been great. Now we're finishing our anchoring out portion of our cruise, and we're going to be heading into near Smyrna Beach today after our morning swim.
Hope you guys enjoyed joining us for that cruise from Melbourne to New Smyrna Beach.
It was a very pleasant 5 days on the water.
4 different anchorages that we explored, and it was 71.2 nautical miles, so a nice slow pace getting in there.
And well, we spent then actually a month in New Smyrna Beach. We'll be filling you in with that video soon, but we just wanted to give you a little update on shirts.
So we have our new boat shirts, which is something we wanted to do for ourselves. And if you wanted to get one of these shirts, they're only available through July 31st. So that deadline is coming up soon. If you want to get your order in, you can get more information on that at technomadia.com/shirt. We don't know if we'll offer them again, so this is a limited time thing. Basically, we're just doing one because we want a shirt.
We want some shirts. If you want a shirt too, go for
Awesome.
it. And if you're watching this video after that date, well, you missed out.
But do let us know if you want one, because if
Maybe
you
we'll
have
do it on the
demand,
run.
maybe we'll do it in the run. Anyway, please, if you enjoyed the videos, these produced video content style, we'd love to hear your thumbs up and your comments. They mean the world to us. This style of video takes a lot of extra effort to do, but we mainly do it for fun anyway. So thanks for joining along, and
See you in the next video.